All right, so as you saw there, those are the power rankings currently for CSL here in the fall season. But as we mentioned before, it's still pretty early on, so there's a lot of teams that could belong in there, and we will probably see in there very shortly, especially as we hit to the end of week 6, and a lot of those teams face each other on those power rankings lists. So with no further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into game number 2, the draft here between UC Santa Cruz and UC Berkeley.
Team ban. Radiant team ban.
All right, so very similar bans actually as last game. Centaur and Pugna starting out exactly the same, so nothing's changed there. We'll see if they do swap anything else here in this draft. But you know, while we're waiting, why don't we get to know these teams just a little bit better? We've already heard a few things about them, but let's see what could we talk about? How about motivation, right? Dota's you have to be pretty motivated to play this game, let alone play it competitively. Not only does it take a lot of time, but a lot of frustration, right? So we asked both teams, how does your team stay motivated, and how do you also avoid worrying about classes and potentially a job? And so we asked this to both teams. Berkeley said school and jobs always come first, but we really just enjoy playing Dota and trying to win. So kind of just a pretty basic response, what you'd expect, right? Any Dota player, we're all just trying to have fun, play Dota for the most part. But we asked the same question, I'm sorry, to Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, their response said, Dota 2 is a great way to waste time. Couldn't agree more. 6,000 hours or more have been wasted on this game. As well as they continue, they said, as well as enjoy spending time with friends online. So, good, very good point. You can you don't have to see your friends in person. You can just see them online or talk to them online instead. They said, while it is a competitive and stimulating game, it is most enjoyable to be played that way. We see Dota as a way to escape from the day-to-day instead of adding to it. I think that's a great mindset, right? Dota is a game at the end of the day, right? So finding a way to kind of avoid thinking of it as an extra stress or an extra job that you have to focus on, and just thinking of it as, I want to unwind, have some fun, and enjoy my time playing this game is a difficult mindset to have with Dota. So good on them. I dig it. I like what they did, what they're saying. But we should turn our attention back to the draft now. We've seen a lot of the same bans. Silencer, Enigma, Axe, and Centaur all banned first phase last game. They do pick up Tiny and then respond with the Ogre. So they did pick Ogre in the 3rd pick slot last game. The Phoenix is banned this time, so there is not going to be a 2nd pick Phoenix. These S4s going to have to come up with something a little bit more, probably a little bit more creative here. No more Phoenix, but there is still a lot of really good heroes in the pool. Winter Wyvern still available as one of them. Also, the Bane, you could try and steal it from the Bears. It was something they went for last time.
Radiant team pick.
And they go with Wraith King, actually. You know, Wraith King is a hero that got banned out in the last game, and I actually really like this hero. I think he got a lot of love when people kind of realized how strong he was just as an off-lane core. You couldn't really deal with him. They gave him some pretty fair nerfs, and I think he's in a good spot, but he's still a very strong hero. Depending on your lineup, he can be very difficult to deal with, and as we saw last game, Tiny's game started out great, but kind of became more difficult, and a lot of that was due to the fact that he had almost no kill targets for him on the side of the slugs. UC Bears pick up Terrorblade. Most likely we're going to see Phantom Lancer banned out here, potentially Morphling, but they do ban the Zeus. Maybe they are looking to go, oh, they just banned response ban with the Tinker. Don't want to even chance it now that Zeus isn't in the pool. And I like that. I think last game, first phase in the Tinker is a little bit too dangerous. They didn't ban out Zeus for some reason, so just left him available in the hero pool. Just such a hard counter for that hero. So we'll see what the Bears decide to do this time. I would be very surprised if they let Phantom Lancer through right now, because I could see it being picked up immediately on the side of the Slugs. One of the best counters, or one of the only carries in the game who is actually good against Terrorblade, thanks to his mana burn. The second one being Morphling, because if you can't pick Terrorblade, you might as well be able to use his spells. So pick Morphling. hope you all enjoy this. Oh, yeah, great sounds there. Just cracking up a cold one, you know, getting ready for this stream. No, it's not what you think it is, I promise.
DotA team back.
So they do ban out the Phantom Lancer. Pretty much what I expected. You really want to leave Morphling in the pool. If you have a Morphling player, this is really what you want to grab. I think that's probably one of the better ways to deal with the Terrorblade. Most of his counters are already gone, right? We have this, a lot of the heavy magic damage burst, the Zeus, the Centaur, this Pugna. They're all removed from the game, the Phoenix as well. So it's going to be a pretty free game for Terrorblade if you don't pick up a good counter for him. Wraith King, if they do play this in the offlane position, can be pretty good if you pick up another magic damage core. Something that kind of takes us back to TI would be that Wraith King Willow. It's actually still pretty good. So they may opt to do something along those lines. Willow, one of those heroes that deals a ton of magic damage, but is kind of a glass cannon herself. And they ban Weaver. I really like the Weaver ban. He has mana burn, right? With his talents, that makes it very difficult for the Wraith King. Phantom Lancer are already banned out, so they want to remove any sort of kind of mana issues that could be presented to this Wraith King. And with Terrorblade on the map, you're not going to see another safe lane core pick up anything like that, like no Animage. But I have seen Terrorblade go offlane in a few games. Probably unlikely here. We're mostly going to see this Ender Tiny going offlane with Fry, as that tends to be his go-to lane.
Radiant team pick.
Mereska has arrived.
Man, I am on top of it right now. Someone, let's see those pogs. Yeah, Wraith King, Willow, I said it. It's a great magic damage combo. It's really good against Terrorblade. He suffers very early in the game, just super low health pool. He walks in the lane with 9 armor, has 13 by level 2, and Wraith King and Willow don't care about armor. They're gonna do 700 damage in magic damage over the course of like 5 seconds. So it's pretty rough lane for Terrorblade. If they do the Wraith King Willow off lane, which is seeming to be increasingly likely. But we'll see what Bears respond with. Trying to think like what they would really do. Like, you want to put Lacrimosa on a very high skill cap mid hero. I think honestly Dragon Knight looks incredibly good right now, so they might pick up a Dragon Knight. It gives them honestly the space maker that they need for this Terrorblade. Terrorblade's most likely going to have a pretty lacking lane, but Dragon Knight gives him the ability to threaten really the kind of the map of the slugs here, and they go for Undying. I like it. Great hero, very strong in lane. He kind of falls off a little bit going into the late game, but he's one of those heroes that once you secure the lane, makes it really good for your cores, helps makes a lot of space, and knowing that Terrorblade's lane is going to be pretty bad, they want to do the same thing, make the safe lane core of the Slithery Slugs here really bad. But if I'm them, I pick up Morphling. Morphling is honestly totally fine against Undying, a hero that doesn't suffer too much to him. And he's great against Terrorblade. I think this is the Morphling game. The main issue you have is the Tiny. The Tiny loves playing against Morphling, so I'm wondering what they might do. I don't know. We'll see. I think Morphling could work. I'm really worried if it's misplayed in the lane against Tiny Undying, that it could totally backfire. So we'll see what they do. They might last pick it. They go for the Underlord again. So looks like they're going to do those safe lane Wraith King. Or they might take the Underlord to the safe lane and go still Wraith King Willow off. I don't know. It's hard to say. Either way, the Underlord Willow, if they put that against Terrorblade, still a lot of magic damage. The Underlord doesn't do as much as he would against other heroes, but still pretty good for the Underlord. He's surprisingly really tanky. When Terrorblade pops the meta, he doesn't have to worry too much about getting killed. Willow, however, needs to skedaddle. For sure. The Brewmaster pickup is great. I really love that hero. He's really good at dealing with Wraith King, and the Underlord pick means that it's most likely a safe lane Wraith King, which means this Brewmaster Undying should be able to do work in that lane against this Ogre Wraith King. So Berkeley, I think, has a pretty significant draft advantage at the moment, and that's just because I think their offlane is just going to be so much stronger with that Brewmaster Undying, if that's how they end up deciding to run this. Last phase of bans here coming out. Lacrimosa and
Team ban.
Six Dog on the mid lanes. They banned the TA, meaning you might want to go Lina. Hard to say. It might be a Lina is what they're probably leaning towards.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably going towards Lina. I don't know what the Bears want at this point. Mid lane is kind of iffy for them. There's not like a hero to me that like stands out. Like this would be a great hero to pick up. TA would have been great. They banned the Huskar. Are they going Invoker? Dragon Knight? It's got to be the Dragon Knight, right? We'll see. I don't know. I could be wrong. I still think I still stand by my recommendation of the Dragon Knight pick. I think it's a good game for him.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Ember Spirit. All right. I was thinking about it, but not necessarily for his team. I thought the Slugs might go Ember Spirit, but looks like they'll take it. TA is banned, which isn't that big of a deal. You don't have to worry about it too much. The Huskar ban either basically telegraphs it's probably going to be Dragon Knight or Ember Spirit. Those are the only heroes left in the pool that are probably worth picking. Now for the Slugs, they've got plenty of time here to decide this last pick. This is a hard one. I don't know how you feel about going Storm Spirit here. I don't think it's bad. I think you could do it. It's not that greedy. It's a good matchup against the Ember Spirit in the lane. The only thing you really have to be careful to late game is just the Tiny Burst. So you can get a decent start, pick up some important health items, then might not be bad. Oh my lord. We have an Arc Warden. Ladies and gentlemen, Arc Warden picked up 10th pick for the slithery, slimy, sexy slugs, none other than UC Santa Cruz here. So they are ready. You know, they knew exactly what they wanted, it looks like. And if you're Ember, you're going to be really sad now. This lane is disastrous for an Ember Spirit. Unless Arc Warden drastically misplays this, you've got to feel pretty bad. Whew. So overall, I like the draft of the Slugs once more. I think Terrorblade's lane isn't going to be that bad because they did opt to go this Underlord Willow off lane, but we'll see how it goes in action. I am praying for Wraith King because he is going to be in a world of hurt. So keep your eyes on that lane. We'll see what happens here in game number 2 between UC Berkeley and UC Santa Cruz. All right, and we mentioned earlier both teams are undefeated, so this is a big deal. This is a top of the bracket spot. You know, whoever takes this might go playoffs, the other one might not. So we'll start with Berkeley here. Carapo playing the Undying. Ember Spirit, played by none other than Lacrimosa. Terrorblade as in Yan. I try with your name. I'm really sorry, but I'm calling you Terrorblade all game. My apologies, to say the least. You deserve better. Ender playing Tiny top lane, and Fry on the Brewmaster. And again, gonna run right into Poxy on this Ogre. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, while we're here, they'll introduce Iroha on the Wraith King. And Poxy. This is interesting. So they actually opt to do the Tiny Brewmaster off lane, which is pretty good. I thought you might see the Brew in the safe lane, but I guess I was wrong. Either way, I think this lane's actually still pretty good for them, and that's just the Drunken Haste is going to be a pain in the butt. Willow bot lane actually against Undying is so bad. You just have no health, sitting at 488 currently. Few decays and a couple right clicks, he goes down. And doing the same thing as he was last game, maybe trying to find a courier. Let's finish introducing the side of the slugs here. Six Dog in the mid lane, playing this Arc Warden. We have FY playing this Dark Willow, and of course Weep Slayer again on this I'm sorry, under the Underlord. So two identical wards, 2 games in a row, pretty interesting. Six Dog. Man, that lane is going to be scary for him. We'll keep it on it, kind of go back and forth. Bot lane, though, a lot of action going out. Undying taking a decent amount of harass, but you got to be careful. When those 12 decay stacks drop off, he is going to be very low on health. Actually, I look away from the mid lane, and Lacrimosa already down to 170 health. There's going to be a lot of action in these lanes. Six Dog just sitting on the high ground. He's got Flux now, and you have to be very careful if you're Ember. That Flux will destroy you. Bot lane. Carapo just getting in the face of Willow. Yeah, Decay just does so much work against Willow. She can't contest. Similar strategy as it was last game, really. This double big bruiser melee off lane, and really, they're difficult to kill. They had a great start last game. They got several kills in the lane, and this time, instead of going Spectre, they pick a Wraith King, a hero that's a little bit better at surviving these. Willow, very low bottom as far as her health pool goes, but she will pop the Shadow Realm there, putting a lot of damage on a Terrorblade. He's still level 1. A lot of denies coming on this lane. 6 already for the Underlord. Will he get the under tower last hits? This is a big deal. Looks like he misses one. That's pretty good. It's 2 of the 3. Not bad. Iroha, top lane, moving a little bit low. And this Terrorblade is just not having the best time. There's a lot of consistent harassment that comes out. Six Dog finds himself a regen rune. That's going to be a ton of free spark rates in this lane, giving that him a lot of gold. Oh, doesn't actually find the Flux, so not gonna happen. Top lane, anything happen? I see it ping, but it looks like it's just them having some fun. Undying bottom, just doing Undying things. I'm sure once he uses this last mango and runs out of dang it. So top lane, I look away, Poxy and Iroha net the first blood on Fry. So that is the first blood of the game. And bot lane, Carapo taking a lot of damage. He should be fine here. I don't think you want to dive the tower. Yep, he'll be alright, but now Terrorblade in a pretty bad position here. He's going to take just a... Oh, nope, they aren't going to follow up. Top lane. Undying going to go suicide. Probably buys some stuff. Kind of suicide the creeps there. So mid lane, actually, Lacrimosa doing exceptionally well. I'm really surprised. I did not think the lane would be going this well for him, and he's actually going to take a lot of harass damage here from the Flux and the Spark Wraith. And as I say that, 2 kills top lane. Fry gonna get the second kill here, potentially on Poxy. One more auto attack, won't be able to do it. Poxy will be able to get out. So overall, pretty good. I mean, you trade the ooh, Willow gets really low. One more decay, 3 seconds out. Might be able to get it. Nope, she pops the wand plus the fairy fire. Carapo, one more attack from the tower. Nope, lives with 5 HP. Very close on both sides. And now Iroha top lane gets avalanche, getting ran down by the combination of this Endure and Fry, and pops the skeletons. But Kobe will secure that last kill in bot lane. It looks like Carapo just denied himself again to a neutral camp. And now Poxy, gotta be really careful. Bottle up on this Brewmaster. He might be able to get the kill. Toss comes in. He doesn't have a clap yet, but Avalanche in 2 seconds. They should be able to get this kill. Fry actually takes a ton of tower damage. Ignite or Fire Blast in the face. Not going to be able to get it. He will salve up. He'll be fine. Fry got to be really happy filling those bottle charges back up. Overall, net worth wise, kind of similar to what we saw last game. The off lane tend to do better than the cores themselves. This Wraith King is doing significantly better though than this Terrorblade. And bot lane, actually, speaking of Terrorblade, he is just getting ran down. He will just TP out though. Doesn't have to worry about any sort of TP stun in that lane. So mid lane, Six Dog picks up his level 6, and now Ember Spirit kind of forced to jungle. This is very scary. When Arc Warden has his level 6, you have that double flux, the level 3 Spark Wraith. It is a lot of damage that he can get out on your hero. And he actually pops the ult, gets the second Spark Wraith, gets the second Purge. But Lacrimosa, the level 3 Flame Guard, will absorb a lot of that damage. So, Arc Warden ult down, not too bad, but he does force a little bit out of the Ember Spirit at the same time. Bravo, level 2 on this Undying, gets rooted up here by this Willow. Refraction will come out, just kind of slow them down, but he should be fine. Overall, pretty even this game. I'd say the only net worth difference you really see is this Wraith King and the Terrorblade. But as I say that, Avalanche toss coming out, Iroha in a lot of trouble. Will throw the Wraith Fire Blast, but he should be fine. I don't think they have any way to get on him. He will live. Endure, really low as well. But you can see just the Radiant team sitting really low on HP. Terrorblade, no regen left in the bank. He's got to be very careful here. Shadow Realm coming up in just a few seconds. And as I look away, Tiny does go down top lane to the Wraith Fire Blast and Fire Blast combo. Bottom lane, root up onto the Terrorblade. Will the Shadow Realm kill him? It will. Just enough damage. And that's what I was talking about. Willow, a lot of magic damage in this lane. Very easily secures that kill onto the Terrorblade. I really like Six Dog's build. He's going for that Necro Book. You see this every once in a while. I've seen some people go level 1 Necro Book into Midas, and that's all they run is the level 1 Necro Book. So we have double Purge come out onto Lacrimosa. In comes the Willow as well. He's going to take a lot of damage from the burst here of those Spark Wraiths, and that will get the kill. Willow on the high ground. I don't think they get the kill onto Endure here. Spark Wraith 1 will hit, but that's about it. So they rotate 3 heroes mid, get the Ember Spirit at least, so this is really good for the Arc Warden. Bot lane, Carapo, he should be fine. I don't think they have a way to get there. Yeah, he will just soul rip himself up. He has UK, so he's use it. Actually, the damage from the Firestorm will get him. Weeb Slayer. Doing some slaying. Gets himself a kill. Level 6 top is on this Brewmaster, so he does have the Primal Split if he wants to try and secure a kill, but who's going to kill, really? Both these heroes extremely tanky, difficult to deal with. It is going to require Endure to maybe get an Avatos combo, but in comes Undying. maybe with the 3 of them, they'll have the ability to take down one of these tanky cores, and Wraith King is going to back. They do spot them now with this ward. They bloodlust the tower, and they say, see ya! They're going to go jungle. Speaking of jungling, Ember Spirit, level 7. That is not good. To Arc Warden's level 9. This is not ideal. The lane looked pretty good, pretty even initially. Arc Warden pulls away as soon as he gets that level 6. So he has those 3 points in that Spark Wraith. It makes it very difficult for Ember Spirit to kind of sit in that lane, and Dark Willow doing really well as well. Alright, toss in. We'll get the clap onto the Ogre Magi. He doesn't have to worry about his health really on the Brewmaster, and they'll probably be able to pull down Poxy here. A few more attacks, maybe a toss. Yeah, a toss will come through, secure that kill. So they pick up the kill on the support Ogre Magi, and it's better than nothing. Like, you want to get this tower, but you also want to get something else in the process, right? You lose your bot tower to this Weeb Slayer Underlord, and you're not finding the Wraith King. So at least they get the kill on the Ogre. You can't be too upset. Runes go 2 and 2 here. Let's take a look at net worth. Underlord, top of the net worth. By a good chunk too, followed by Arc Warden. So Underlord's feeling super happy about this. He's got a mech at 10 minutes with his mana bits, going immediately for our first item, Guardian Greaves. I really like this Weeb's Fried Top actually taking a lot of damage, but he does have Primal Split. I don't think he's too worried. He will have to use it. Will be able to turn the kill. Goes onto Iroha. He does have the Reincarnation. They throw Ogre in the air. In comes Dark Willow. She's got to be careful too, because there is a lot of damage coming out from those heroes. And it looks like Berkeley will just back. No way to secure a kill here. Karapo, will he be able to actually endure? Gets Fire Blasted up, doesn't have the ability to get out. In comes Dark Willow, she's level 6, does have the Bedlam. This should be more than enough damage to kill this tiny. Dark Shadow Realm will secure that kill. And here is your Arc Warden in the mid lane with the double Necro Book, getting ready to push your tower. That's what I love about this build. It gives you so much farming ability, so much pushing ability. You take towers, you can take ancient camps, almost nothing. At no cost, right? It's at the cost of a Necro Book. Weeb Slayer, so close. Is he gonna get out? He will. 125 health. This is the power of this Underlord hero. He is really safe pushing in this game. He's very tanky. He has a lot of sustain. He's going that first item, Guardian Greaves, is gonna allow him to be that much more difficult to deal with. And once he picks up, maybe, I would say, a Hood of Defiance into a Pike would be his next item this game, and he can free push these side lanes at almost no consequence. So Willow has the vision here on this Underlord, on this Terrorblade. She gets the root up. He does have Sunder, does not have Sunder. Okay, immediately dies. This is a Willow, core position Willow, killing your one position. Terrorblade Ender goes down immediately to 6 Dog and the Poxy here. Doomstone down, that is just gonna be cleaned up by his Arc Warden, plus 175 gold. Feeling happy. This game looking very good for the Slugs. They're off to a great start, finding kills where they want to on the map and just securing farm really for their cores that need to get online. Securing the top 3 net worth, Arc Warden, Underlord, and Wraith King. The next closest is that Brewmaster. And top lane, they're gonna threaten this Rax and, threaten the Rax. They're gonna threaten the tier 1 tower, and really, I don't think you want to defend it. You have to though. These skeletons take it so fast. It's one of my favorite changes to a hero in so long. Wraith King went from being a 1-button hero to a 2-button hero, but honestly, the skeletons are so good. They actually make him a lot more viable. Primal Split coming out top, plus the Flesh Golem of this Undying. They throw the Wraith King into the air, turning their attention to Poxy. Boulder gonna come out, does connect. Here comes the toss. They find it, and Ember Spirit actually takes a 2x multicast, takes a little bit of damage. Iroha does have Reincarnation, but he's not gonna get out of here a second time. So looking like it to be 2 kills here for the side of Berkeley. There you go. 2 clean kills. What do you like to see? Bot lane tier 2 getting real low here. Six Dog goes for, yep, he did go the level 1 Necro into Midas. I've been seeing more and more Arc Wardens do this. I don't mind it. They end up just selling this Necro Book late game. Unbelievable. Terrorblade just gets sniped by the Dark Willow with a Shadow Realm, and that is it. 490 magic damage to the face, and he drops. That's over half his HP pool, in case you were wondering. And you have this Arc Warden doing Arc Warden things in the mid lane. Lacrimosa walks right into a 2x Fire Blast, and he gets ignited up. He's looking pretty low. He is going to walk right into a Root plus this Spirit. Can he get out? Walks into a second Root. Second Spirit will secure that kill, and Dark Willow can't get a stun on the Tiny. So Ember Spirit goes down. This 6-dog is looking scarier by the second. Actually, Willow turns her attention to Fry with the Bedlam. They do have the damage. No Primal Split, I believe, for another 30 seconds. First Crown will go off. They do get the Avalanche, so it does stop the Willow from getting the Terrorize off. Fry looking really close, but does get healed up by the Undying. Foxy has to run. Tombstone dropped, and Fry turns back. Is he going to go down with the Ignite? Plus the combo there should be enough to kill Fry. Parapo will get healed up a little bit. Does he die? He lives with 18 HP. In comes your Ember Spirit. In comes your Arc Warden. 6-dog. Gonna clear up that Tombstone. Ender actually in a lot of trouble here. Wraith Fire Blast will come out, connect, followed by the Spirit. And he's just gonna get chased down. But I don't think there's any way you can do it. He does get the Bounty Rune though. So he does at least get a rune. He does die, but at least it wasn't for nothing. Willow actually runs into Terrorblade here. He's gonna immediately TP. He knows he can't deal with this hero. That's pretty funny. I love Willow's item choice here. Goes for the Urn of Shadows, and she's going for a Blink Dagger next. You don't really need the the Spirit Vessel this early. The primary heroes you would like to use it against are going to be this Undying, this Tiny, and this Brewmaster, but it's not going to be super effective. I think your team has the damage to deal with them, so getting the Blink Dagger makes you a little bit more effective. Bravo in a lot of trouble. Brewmaster blinks in, uses the Primal Split. Weeb Slayer goes ahead and throws the ult out. Will he be able to pull his team out of here? And he does. He's in the Cyclone, but doesn't care. Gets his team safely back to base. All those spells for what, he says. 6-dog just denies a rune. This Arc Warden's farm is going to accelerate so fast, and if you are Berkeley, you have to be worried. "20 attack speed picked up on the Wraith King there over the Wraith Fire Blast slow duration. Definitely agree. I don't think anyone really takes that Wraith Fire Blast duration. Cooldown reduction is absolutely the correct talent on that hero, especially when you go this Necro into Midas build. Ender, very close to his Blink Dagger. Is not getting it as fast as he did in the previous game, right? Because he had such a good lane last time, but he will be picking it up here. Ember Spirit actually just getting clicked down by Iroha here. He does have a Wraith Fire Blast in 1 second. He will pop the Shrine. Willow comes in and immediately basically pushes this Ember Spirit away. Mid lane though, they just get a free tower. Weeb Slayer TP's out. Top lane, Weeb Slayer actually TP's into 3 top, and in comes the rest of Dire here. Fry and Ender are going to be very careful. They do not get the kill onto this Terrorblade. He does pop a great Sunder. Fry doesn't have Primal Split for 40 seconds. Most likely going to fall here to this damage. Yep. And now Weeb Slayer staying on top of Terrorblade. Not going to let him get away. No TP anyway. Root up into the Firestorm. He is going to take so much damage here. And this is dead Terrorblade once again. So 3 heroes go down. They protect their tower. Oh boy. It's looking like last game. They're like... Berkeley is committing so hard for these fights, but Santa Cruz just responding so well. Maelstrom now picked up on the Arc Warden. This is... He is going to be so difficult to deal with. His net worth now 4,000 above the next closest from Berkeley. Wraith King has his blink. Really all he needs this game. He's going for a Maelstrom. Kind of interesting. I think in this game you might want to just do the Radiance build. Be more of a utility Wraith King. Oh, there, as I say it, he swaps to the Radiance. I was like, you don't really need the damage. I think the utility is just way better. Going Radiance maybe into just an Aghanim Scepter. He blinks forward, gets the stun onto Undying. He drops a tombstone, but they're just taking so much damage from his firestorm. Primal Split goes down, but Iroha gonna pop his reincarnation here, most likely. Underlord in the air. Can they get the kill onto the Wraith King? They finally do. Underlord casts his ult, getting ready to take his whole team back to base. He's not worried. He's got 18 wand charges. In comes the will, and they retreat safely to their base. Slugs are playing this super well. I gotta say, you gotta give credit where it's due. Santa Cruz is playing phenomenal Dota. Both these series they have played really well, and it shows. I mean, I'm not sure if they were just more prepared coming to the series, but they are playing like a team. They know exactly where they want to be at all times, and they're playing well at the recovery stages too, when they had to recover. Smoke up in the mid lane. Are they just gonna go Roshan, or are they gonna try and find a kill here? Wraith King does send the little skellies, but they're gonna go like an ancient camp instead. We do scout a ward get placed in the meantime. Weave Slayer looking to see if he can find a kill. They catch the Ember Spirit in the mid lane, but he will just walk on out. Had a remnant safely in place. Closing in on that Radiance. Let's see, what did Underlord decide to pick up here? Get Hood of Defiance, picking up a pipe. Exactly what we'd expect. Pretty much the pinnacle of pushing high ground builds with Underlord. We're 20 minutes into this game, and your high ground is being threatened. Ember Spirit in a lot of trouble, gets rooted up. He does have the Spirit out. He will retreat back to his base. They need to kill this Tombstone, and they will very easily with the Magnetic Field. Six Dog putting so much work in with this Arc Warden. Black Hermosa can't really even come close, and neither can his Terrorblade. Here, nope, they just cancel. They're pump faking it. Not sure if they want to use it. A great Fire Blast plus a root coming out onto 2. Terrorblade will pop the Sunder, but gets immediately just bursted right back down and will die. He just doesn't have the ability to fight into this team. He's got no items. He has no way to mitigate this damage. Pride blinks and immediately pops the Primal Split, going onto Aroha, throws the Underlord into the air. But who can they really kill here? They turn their attention to Poxy, maybe? But all that's left in the base here is the Underlord. Can they get the kill? A great Terrorize, but it will still secure the kill onto the Underlord. So they do defend top. They do defend their mid lane of Rax. And all they get out of it, though, is the Underlord. And it's not that much money. Overall, the big win here is the experience, right? Like, you want to be winning, getting any kills that you can on the side of Berkeley because you are so far behind. We took a look at net worth here. It's been just a steady decline in favor of Santa Cruz here, but experience pretty much the same. A little bit nicked back there from that mid fight just now, but not much. Looks like Arc Warden going for the Shadow Blade is his next item after the Maelstrom. I really like this item. I think this game he might be able to play a little bit more aggressive, going for maybe a Blink Dagger into like a Nullifier build. I think it could be pretty amazing, like a Nullifier and Bloodthorn build. But we'll see what he does. Wraith King, how close are we to that Radiance? He's 800 from Relic, so it's pretty close. Hype finished up, going for the Crimson Guard next, and Weave Slayer doing what his hero demands, just walking down lanes, pushing the towers. They actually find Undying on the side here with the Willow. They have a lot of magic damage coming out, but should be more than enough. Willow actually in a little bit of trouble herself. We'll get Avatos, she's definitely dead. And Durnow, he's in a lot of trouble. All the spells coming out. He is rooted up, taking a lot of damage from the Firestorm. These few Spirit Rays should secure it, and one more stun here, maybe. Oh my gosh, is he gonna get the blink off? 3, 2, 1. No, Fire Blast in the face, and a crit from Wraith King sends him to his grave. They do get a top tower, and they TP back to the base, but mid lane's already being threatened. Six Dog putting as much damage into this Rax as possible. Opting for the melee one instead of the range. They should have enough here. Got now the Wraith King's here, and blink in from the Brewmaster. Pops immediately into the Primal Split. Again, though, I don't think you really secure a kill. Every time your Primal Splits, the team just backs. I think if you're Arc Warden, you want to secure that ranged Rax while you could, but not the end of the world. back in the mid lane. Fluxed up is this Undying, gets 3 times multi-class plus Fire Blast. Drops the Tombstone at least, but gonna just get cleaned up immediately. He will buy back. Ember Spirit trying to do what he can with Sleight of Fist, but he has no items. This guy's got just a Veil of Discord, doesn't have his Maelstrom yet. Mid lane, melee racks will fall. Next would be the range racks, and they've got him on their back feet. Blink in from this Wraith King. They kill it terribly. He buybacks immediately as well. Wraith King gonna most likely die here, but he does have Reincarnation, so even if he falls, he's coming back with a vengeance. Oh my gosh, Magnetic Field? Nope, not enough to save him. It was a great play there by Sixdog, good idea, but Wraith King will go down anyway, and they just retreat, get a safe lane of racks, force 3 buybacks, was it? Let's take a look here. 2 buybacks from the side of Berkeley, and now they're just gonna go high ground. Again, bot lane. This game has just been played so well, 24 minutes, looking to take a second lane of racks. And again, Undying caught out. Do they have the damage to bring him down? This would be a dieback on the Undying if they do. Doesn't even have Tombstone drop. He goes down 59 seconds on the sidelines, and your bot Rax is looking pretty much dead. How do you even contest? Your Terrorblade only has a Yasha. You don't have Primal Split. Your Ember Spirit finally picks up Maelstrom, but what does it matter? You've got a Pipe and a Guardian Greaves on your Underlord. This is looking pretty grim for Berkeley at this point. A team that was honestly probably favorited on paper, but in the mid lane, you have the Primal Split. Sixdog pops the Shadow Blade immediately. Doesn't have to worry about getting gone on Poxy. The only one really taking damage here. Terrorize off the mark, but will Poxy go down? One more boulder. Nope, he gets Guardian Greaves up. He's going to be just fine. And now Fry in the middle of Santa Cruz here and is going to fall. There's no way he can get saved by his team. And in comes Ember Spirit, but he's in a really bad position. Nope, we'll immediately Remnant back to his base. So 40 seconds, no Primal Split. Do you even buy back? I feel like you have to, but it doesn't matter. Yep, there it is. And they're just going to take down this Rax. Wraith King's ult is back up in 9 seconds. Lacrimosa taking a lot of damage. Great initiation here from Ender and Fry, but it's just not enough damage. They're just so far ahead. Their team is so tanky. Weave Slayer getting a little low. Will pop his ult. Can he get the whole team out of here? Back to base. They take 1 kill with them, and they manage to all escape. Santa Cruz playing textbook Dota tonight. This is pretty insane. Ender GG says, it's over. I can't play this game anymore. Get me out of here. And this is a 2-0 for UC Santa Cruz. This game was so well played. I honestly don't know how to give them more props than what I'm already saying. Like, this Santa Cruz lineup did so much work. Honestly, game 1 was a little rough start for them. Berkeley had a much more dominant play in the laning stage. Their just hero matchups in the draft did not favor them going into the late game. Game 2, Santa Cruz had it at every stage. They didn't even bother to really hesitate. They took their first lane of racks at 20, second lane at racks at 25, and when you're this far behind against an Arc Warden and such a aggressive pushing lineup, there's not a whole lot you can do. So congratulations, really. UC Santa Cruz takes the series tonight 2-0 over UC Berkeley. I thought this series would go probably to 3 games. I think a lot of people did. But that being said, Berkeley not out of it by any means. This team still has a phenomenal record so far this season. This is the first time that they've dropped a match, so we might be seeing these teams play each other again in playoffs if we get there. Rather, when we get there. But just want to say thank you all to everyone who tuned in tonight. It's been a phenomenal series. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to cast. And as always, this has been Collegiate Star League week number 5 of Dota 2, and we will hopefully see you here Wednesday as we cast another live game between 2 phenomenal teams. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Until then, have a great night.